Hi guys, I know it's been forever. I just want to say hi, how you doing? I actually wanted to get into a tarot reading, and so we are using our primordial tarot deck. Well, that was an accident, so I'm going to start off by saging and clearing out this no negative energy, no nothing can come through. And I do have an obsidian plate sitting to the side that after I'm done, so we're setting our energetic boundaries that no negative energy can come in and play with this psychic channel, because it is grounded, it is protected by pure light beings. So with this being said, anybody who watches this is a part of a collective, whether you believe in it or not. If you don't resonate, it may not resonate, but you're adding in your energy to this energy. So this is what I'm picking up on. So with that being said, I just want to give up some cinnamon and ground out this connection. So cinnamon is great for inflammation. It's not even just great as, like, you know, you put it in tea or spice, you know, things like that. It's great for energetic inflation, where energy is just all over the place. It's not consecutive. Giving up cinnamon will help ground that out, but it's also for people's ancestors too. So, and this is not to be appropriated, because everyone has different ancestors from all over the world, especially all over the universes, excuse me. So with this being said, this also helps them communicate. And we have our sweetgrass. So sweetgrass is Native American, is how I grew up with it. It was like candy to spirit. You give up. I grow my own sweetgrass. So you only clip it twice a year and it grows, but Native Americans used it in ceremonies and for religious offerings. And it smells sweet, it smells nutty. So it kind of smells, I don't know how to describe it, but if you were to, it smells nutty. So with that being said, here's to you, here's to grounding out this channel. And to the obsidian. So here is our obsidian plate, as you can see. And I have talked too long. So with that being said, here is, oh, and then if you're interested in the primordial tarot, this is what it is. It's a beautiful piece of deck. This is one of my first, I want to say this is like the first deck I actually purchased, because my normal master deck was actually gifted to me. So this is our primordial tarot deck. So this deals with like psychological and ancient, ancestral, primitive spirituality, but more so the mind, psychological. And if you're like me, I like to analyze. So things like that, it's different from, say, a normal tarot deck. Alright, Spirit, let's get into this tarot reading. What does anything or anyone in the collective who resonates with this message, without being biased or adding myself into this energy, please give us this message? So on the split, we have, this is more like the Fool, as you can see. It's like one who wears the egg on the head, you know. It's like you have all this on your head and all your crown, and some of you may be feeling like you're not doing much, or you're not channeling as much as you used to, or maybe sometimes you kind of feel like you're out of commission, is what I heard. So someone feels like they're out of commission. So maybe if you're having a lot of headaches and you're getting a lot of intuitive downloads, or you're just like, ooh, psychic, you know, you might, and this is probably why Obsidian needed to come out today, is maybe you have a lot of psychic energy that's being sent to you and you're picking up on other energy. So I'm just actually going to ground you out. So obsidian plate, anybody who's watching that is dealing with psychic attack, please comb into their energy. and allow this energy to be absorbed into this plate, and I will disperse it. I'll disperse it, please. And it actually knocked over 3 cards. So the obsidian plate is actually pulling energy. And it's going to continue pulling energy. That was like really loud. Okay, Michelle, let's get it together. I'm so sorry. So this is what the obsidian plate is pulling. So we have awakening. So someone is purposely pulling energy into you, or basically sending you energy as because you are an empath. But with this is like going introvert. This almost it looks like the hermit, right? And it's like making a home within a home. So it's like an implantation, but it's like something dormant has lied within inside of you, right? Or within this person that it was actually pulled to you because you were able to handle it more so. But this implant, right? Whatever this was is not even, it feels like it's attacking this implant. Like other people's energy is attacking, is what I feel. And it's bizarre because usually implants are always talked about like foreign bodies, you know, brought in, whether it's our choice or not. You know, but when we talk about psychic implants, it's always a projection that is not ours because it's someone other's perspective or a time loop that got stuck in us for whatever the reason may be. So we have casting, this talks about weirdly enough, I'm seeing someone who they're pulling old things or old memories. I get the metaphor of like someone reaching into a hat and pulling a slip of paper and doing whatever that is on that paper. Like it is random, but it's not random because whatever this is, it's like, you know what you put into the hat. You just kind of selected whatever you put into the hat, if that makes any sense. So, for whatever reason, this implant or situation, you were selected. Slightly at random, but not really random. Because if it wasn't you, it would be someone else. If that makes any sense. We have, funny story, we have the Emperor and the Lovers. Technically this is the Hierophant, almost, but these are in reverse. So it's funny that this would come out. So I think someone is starting to realize that the joke is on you. I really feel like with this worst case scenario, whatever, because with this is obviously a masculine. Whether male or female, this is a masculine energy coming through. So it's like the joke is on this person. Like for whatever reason you've done to this person or they've like implanted psychic energy to you, like someone else is karmically attached to this connection. So a lot of times you'll be feeling negative energy, or this is negative, insecure energy coming from this person that's attacking you if you're watching and you're going through this and you're getting the headaches or the intuitive downloads. Because, and this works any other way, but for whatever reason there is someone attacking a masculine energy that you have channeled and implanted within yourself. Now, the reason why they're going after the masculine in this connection is because the masculine is not connected. It's not rooted in the connection. So there could have been a turbulent breakup, put it that way. There could have been like a domestic dispute that ended really badly. And I mean, it could have ended in, say, a domestic violence charge or some type of situation where the masculine is not secure. So someone got kicked, let's just say someone got kicked out of the house. So it's like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You know? But it's like, I really feel like it was worst case scenario because something had to happen for this person to be kicked out. Now, whoever is sending this energy, this psychic energy to this masculine that you're picking up on and being implanted with, it's because someone wanted you guys together, but spirit was like, absolutely not. You know? This is very feeble, weak energy. This is not something to play around with. This is someone who would rather cast bones and do some dark shit. You know, that would rather wake the beast within, you know? And it's just like, it backfired because whatever this implantation, it's like almost like possession. Like someone got possessed, you know, by someone else's energy. And maybe you're feeling that. You're feeling the side effects. So the fact that it leached to you, now you're feeling the repercussions of something else. So it's like this person tried to, and let's just say this someone's tried to pull your energy onto, say, the dark side, if that makes any sense. So spirit is saying, with the energy that I pulled out of you, for the most part, is basically pulling that energy and putting it back into the spiritual realm so it's not there. So you need to go ahead and energetically cleanse, do whatever. For some of you, and there's someone in here, in this collective, that is going through like a dark night of the soul and waking up to all like the false realities of life, where it's like you wanted the life that you thought you had or you were living, and then realized that it was all fake. It's all someone else's. Like, it's like you grew up hearing about this life and seeing the rich and famous on, you know, TV, and be like, I'm going to be a part of that, and realize it's all blood sucking. Like, yeah, money can buy happiness periodically, and then it runs out because you've seen too much shit. And it's just like, there's things that you just can't excuse anymore. So, you know, spirit is saying like, hey, it's time to connect back to this, right? Because we have the hunter and, you know, like the shaman looking at his protege, right? His earth incarnated protege, right? So there's talking to the ancestors, to the spirit realm, right? But someone doesn't believe in their gifts. For instance, spirit, tell me more about this person who doesn't believe in this gift. Like, their ability to channel. Your ability to channel is what you don't believe, because someone was like brought up in a household where you were told, sorry, I'm being told to cover the top of my ears for whatever reason. There's something about covering of ears, like you were told, like, blocked ears. Like, someone is clairsentient, clairvoyant, and clairaudient. And clairsentience is clear sense, right? Clairaudient is clear hearing, where clairvoyant is clear seeing, right? Claircognizance is clear knowing. There is something about you not hearing, like you've got your spirit is trying to connect to you, and they're speaking, and you're hearing the voices, and yet you've seen posts where it's like you don't talk to random voices that you just hear because, you know, some spirits are bad. Like, yeah, some spirits are bad, you know, but you being clairsentient, you'll know the difference between what is good energy and what is bad energy. You know, you'd have that ability to say, no, I'm not going to deal with trickster energy. With this one being said, for this energy specifically in this card, it's like spirit is trying to get your attention about a healing that needs to be done. And you're seeing through it in dreams, or seeing posts about it, or feeling certain aspects. And I have a book about healing, right? So spirit, with this number 4 card and this energy with the masculine needs to, please give me a message. Please. I mean, we could get it from tarot, but they said page 72. So, forgiveness exercise. Now that you're ready to forgive, do this exercise with a partner if you can, or do it out loud when you're alone. Sit again. Sit. Oh my gosh. Again, sit quietly. My dyslexia is acting up right now. Again, sit quietly and close your eyes with your legs closed. Crisscross. And say, the person I need to forgive is blank. I need to forgive you for blank. Do this over and over again until the many things that you need to forgive for some and for only one, maybe two, of you to say. If you have a partner, let him say to you, thank you, I set you free now. If you do not, then imagine the person you are forgiving saying it to you. Do this for at least 5 to 10 minutes a day. Search in your heart for the injustices you carry and let them go. When you have cleared as much as you can for now, turn your attention to yourself and say out loud to yourself, I forgive myself for blank. Do this for another 5 to 10 minutes. And these exercises are very powerful. In order to be in a good situation, do this at least once a week to clear out any remaining rubbish. Some experiences are easy to let go of, and some we have to chip away at. But until suddenly one day, you'll have the ability to let them go and to dissolve. And then we have visualization. So again, seeing. Knowing another good exercise. For some, to read this one if you can, or put it on a tape and listen to it. Begin to visualize yourself. Oh my god, I can't even talk. Visualize yourself as a little child of 5 or 6. Look deeply into this child's eyes. See the longing and see that there is to realize that there is only one thing this child wants from you, and that is love. So reach your arms out and embrace this child. Hold it with love and tenderness and tell it how much you love it, how much you care for it, how much you admire everything about this child. And say that it's okay to make mistakes while learning. Promise that you'll always be there no matter what. Now let this child that is very, and let this little child get very small until it's just the size to fit into your heart. Put it there. And so whenever you have to look down, you'll see this little face looking up at you, and you can give it all the love. Now visualize your mother as a little girl of 4 or 5, frightened and looking for the love, not knowing where to find it. Reach out your arms and hold this little girl, and let her know as much as you love her and how much you care. Let her know that you can be relied upon, and you will always be there, no matter what. When she quiets down and begins to feel safe, let her get very small and like the size of the child before, and fit her into your heart. Put her there with your own little child and let them give each other lots of love and company. Now imagine your father as a little boy of 3 or 4, frightened, crying, and looking for love. See the tears rolling down his face, and he doesn't know where to turn. You become good at comforting frightened little children, so you reach your arms out to this trembling little boy, comfort him, croon, to him. Let him feel how much you love him, and let him feel that you are always going to be there. With his tears are now dry, you feel the love and the peace in this little body. Let him get very small, just like the size of the children before. Put him in your heart for the 3 little children to be together with lots of love, and you can love them all. There is so much love in your heart that you can heal the entire planet. Just for now, just let us use this love to heal you. Feel the warmth beginning to glow into your heart center, a soft gentleness. Let this feeling begin to change the way you think and how you talk to yourself. So we have inner child work, but we also have root work and ancestral work. So some people need to forgive your parents. So this could be, say, a parent, a masculine parent that did you wrong with animosity. But this also talks about, say, like this masculine, like if you got into it with a masculine that you were with and someone was projecting. I feel like a lot of times we find partners that are like the hurt that we had growing up with people. So we tend to reflect as mirrors to one another that past pain that we did, and that's how we find a lot of that karmic pattern. So with this being said, we have the moon, and this is talking about illuminating, because mirrors are illuminating. Yes, you can get yourself lost in a mirror, right, and you can trap yourself in one, but the moon is all about setting us free from the patterns of the subconscious mind, of the subconscious heart, and the subconscious soul. So there's a lot of liberating for you to do, because there's a lot of hurt that needs to come through, you know, there's a lot. It's like, you cannot wear this mask anymore. It's super exhausting. Alright, Spirit, tell me more. Let's get into something entirely different from karmic cycles. Like, what else do you need coming out? What else do you need to know for this collective? What messages do you need to talk to directly to each and every one of these beings watching? I get it's customary for our generation, or, you know, the newer generations, to be tit for tat right now to get your lick back. But I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, someone has to make an example out of someone with this one, and it's like blood for blood. Like, they brought this upon themselves. And Spirit was like, if you would let us clean up this mess, instead of worrying about your ego and your pride, you wouldn't have these problems in the first place. Someone does not need to keep opening their fucking mouth. So what Spirit is saying, and I'm seeing, what is it? The Glasgow smile, I think. So it's like where they would cut it. So like the Joker, for instance, the cut on the face. I think it's the Glasgow. I don't know. But anyways, it was like, really, we're gonna do this. And we're not gonna edit this out. We're going to Google, so you have a... So anyways, someone is tit for tat here. So someone is saying they're running their mouth too much and putting their foot in their own fucking mouth. And it's like, you have the audacity to, like, shut someone up, like, to get their lick back. Like, you have to be the one to be like, I'm gonna fucking shut you up now. You know? But there is something about, yeah, the Glasgow smile. Which is something like this. Which is a wound caused by making a cut from the corners of a victim's mouth to the ears, leaving a scar in the shape of a smile. The act is performed usually with a utility knife or a piece of broken glass, leaving a scar that causes the victim to smile broadly. So in 20th century Scotland, roving gangsters punished each other by carving the smiles into victims' mouth. So, I mean, if you've seen Gladiator, the slave that comes in when Russell Crowe's character is coming out, him, that's common. But there was something about that smile, but I just kept seeing the Joker, because it was said, like, in some of the comic books and stuff, that he had that smile. It wasn't just makeup, but it was that smile. But yeah, there's something about cuts. Oh shit. Someone ordered a spiritual hit, and your ancestors immediately blocked it. And that actually sent karma back to this person. Hence, there's no need to get your lick back, because apparently Spirit is handling it, but you just kind of egotistically, your pride is like, I'm fucking hurt, you know, I'm on the defense now. And instead of being like, okay, you know what, I surrendered, you know, Jesus, take the wheel here. Like, you're defensive, so you're making the situation worse. I'm just saying, whoever resonates with that, you're making your situation worse. I told you. That's just a... There's a watching energy, okay? Someone is watching. Someone is watching your life. So you need to do a cleansing and a blocking. So if I'm not saying like the evil eye, but you know, yeah, if you do like an evil eye cleanse, that would be great for those who believe this. There's an energy here that is more spiritual than anything. Like, one of you in particular, maybe 2 or 3, there is someone that you may have gotten in contact with or been an acquaintance that you thought, oh my god, like this person is on my level. This person is actually not on your level. Like, their energy vamps. And this is also partially why you have headaches. For other people that didn't resonate with the first opening of this message and whatnot, is like they're using... Be very careful about what you tell them about spiritual, because they mirror each other, not karmically. Let's just say this. They mirror you, and they have all of these abilities that you miraculously have. And every time you say something, to be like, oh no, I've done that. And you think, oh my god, you know? But in reality, they're parasitic as shit. They're just there to be there. They like to talk about shit that they don't understand. So they, like I said, they're just foot and mouth. So Spirit is trying to say, like, hey, like, this person has been watching you, so be very careful, because they want to use your gifts to their advantage. So there was something I saw that, like, someone is using someone's gift for money, like, but they don't want to share the money. And it was funny because I saw this, someone had posted on a group that I follow on Facebook, that was saying, like, people want to be spiritual healers for the money, but sometimes they're not even connected to the right type of source. You know, they could just be connected to something entirely different, or they just make this shit up, you know, as they go. But a lot of it is like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna make money off of someone's naivety. So, yeah. So Spirit is saying with this, you know, it's time to watch. It's time to watch what other people paint themselves out to be. Because this is talking about a woman who is richly decorated. Her body is richly decorated in ceremonial tattoos. This golden lady, right? Like, she looks put together, right? As the picture perfect of beauty. But in reality, it's like she's watching. She's not this. She's this. You know? And it's like she's connected to, like, pulling stones. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing that she has in her bag are these stones. And she knows how to exploit insecurities because she's deeply insecure. So she knows how to manipulate. She knows how to come across a certain way. So this is a very charismatic woman, this feminine energy. But Spirit is saying, pay attention to how she acts. So for instance, Anna Devi, you know, she came across as, you know, this businesswoman, this heiress, and all this other shit. And eventually shit wasn't adding up. And then people started getting together and realizing, like, she defrauded a lot of people. She pretended to, you know, get in with the wealthy elites, rubbing, you know, because she couldn't do it being poor in Russia. So she comes to America and reinvents herself. This is a person that has to constantly reinvent themselves and move from one place to the other because their past is getting caught up with them. It's imposter syndrome. Like, this person does not belong, and this is also spiritually related. So when you have people like this that mirror you, it's because you've been talking too much. This person is now going to exploit you and then move on. You got to deal with the aftermath. So Spirit is saying, watch the company you keep. watch how you speak. That's also watching how you speak to yourself, and ask yourself, am I going to play the victim? Am I going to be the victim, or am I going to be the victor? Now ask yourself, is your pride really that big? Is your ego really that big that you'll put yourself into danger? Ask yourself that. Is your pride worth putting yourself into danger of any kind for the sake of charismatic attention? To feel like you belong, even though you know you don't belong there. You know this person doesn't belong in your life. It's time to cut the cords. Illumination needs to be happening. There's something that you had saw that it does not sit with your soul. And your soul is trying to get your attention, right? So this is talking about going back to the beginning. Going back to source. You know, because we have our ancestors, we descended supposedly from apes. Even though we descended, technically we ascended from them to us, you know, Homo sapiens. But it's like in that quest of ascension, what have we lost? What have we gained in this purpose? So Spirit is saying, when you see this and you like start putting pieces together to be like, oh shit, I missed this. Spirit is saying, don't let your ego get too much, but also like sit and wait, because like there's something about sitting and wait, lying in wait. There's something about a cop out right now. Like I'm hearing cop out. What is this cop out? Spirit, what is this cop out? I wait and see. There's something about pregnancy here. There's something about someone could be pregnant, someone can be getting pregnant, or someone's trying to birth a creation, not just a child, you know, because this also talks about like womb space, right? An infection, like someone may be thinking, I don't know where this is coming from, but certain respiratory. Okay, we'll get back to that. Circle this around. Sometimes, like, cysts or tumors can actually render, because of all the hormones and how out of balance things are, it can render someone that is trying to get pregnant on a pee stick, right? You go to there and you have like a blood test, right? Or you get, you know, your uterus checked. They find this. There's something about a tumor or a cyst in a fake pregnancy or a false pregnancy. So for others that are trying to create something, it's an endeavor, but it's going to take time to grow. So it's like the universe wasn't built in one single day. You know, it took billions upon billions upon billions of years to expand. You know, it didn't just, and there was light, you know. There's something about reconnecting to your roots as well. There's something about going home. Whether this is actually going back to a place or buying your own home, there's something about going home. Because I'm just hearing Drake's song, Hold On, We're Going Home. I'm just literally hearing the chorus to Hold On, We're Going Home. And there's something about going back to one's roots. It's like, stop the illusions. Go back to source. Go back to originality. Go back to the drawing board. If someone's removing their boobs, someone may have like fake boobs, like implants that they're starting to come through. So someone needs to look at a different viewpoint. Like the bandage is like a child climbing up, right? So there is something about the inner child, or basically a child giving you a piece of information, or someone seeing you in a very childlike nature, or basically creating a hobby that makes you happy, or a side that makes you happy. It's not about the money, It's like, it's a hobby. It keeps your mind off of things. It keeps you out of trouble. So there's something about going back to the drawing board and seeing things in a fresh light, or seeing something that you missed, like proofreading basically. And you're just to be like, oh my God, I missed this. How did I miss this? You know what I mean? Like, sit on it, sleep on it, and then come back with a fresh pair of eyes. Respiratory. Spirit, what is this respiratory? When is this okay, so we have everything flows from a woman, right? Life is created within a womb. It's created within a woman with a man's help, right? Someone with this respiratory attack, asthma, there's something about getting tested for a respiratory sickness. But there's something about asthma, like someone has an underlying case of asthma and it's actually being triggered by, say, someone smoking or environmental. There's something about environmental impacts. So we all know that in certain communities, like low-income communities or historically Black or Asian communities, gentrification has happened, and it actually has caused urban sprawl to happen. So we all know about the practices of racial segregation and things like that that have caused, you know, racial techniques and, you know, practices that have caused hurt to historically cultural communities. There is something about being involved here that has, like, there's a case like environmental racism, if that makes any sense, that there's a deliberation of doing something to harm people of a certain race, right? But it's like in this case, like with this respiratory, like the air and like the airways are being constricted. So there's something about asthma or bronchitis or the lungs and the throat. There's something about the chakra right here that it's closing, it's being affected, and this is also spiritually related. So there's people that need to work on their throat. There is something about going to a different practitioner because nothing is being, like, right with the other one, so you need to shop around or, you know, do some research. But Spirit is saying, like, there's something about being attacked, like a respiratory attack or a panic attack. And it's like, it's meant to take you out of your element, but it's also inflicted by a spiritual nature, like someone else is sending it to you. I'm not saying that you have enemies if that's what you're asking Spirit to be like, oh, I have enemies, you know, that's not what this is about. It's like, do your research and do it, you know, do it wisely. Any last messages, please? Any last messages? I mean, this was like super kind of just... Can we get like an uplifting message? Because like, it's kind of annoying to hear this. Like, oh, you know, like, oh, ego, I'm being attacked, it's psychic. Can we get an uplifting message? Watch what you eat. Because this talks about, like, eating till your heart's out. Like, enjoying and gorging and gluttony, right? And this is actually, like, watch what you eat. Because you know the circle of life, right? We've all been taught that in school and, like, biology and whatnot. That you eat and it can create magic. You take life force. Because this is the star. Literally, this is, like, creation itself is sparking the light. You know, you sparking the fire. So it's like when you eat healthy, you move healthy. So Spirit is saying if you fuel your body and you change your diet and you change your lifestyle and you get healthy, you have high energy. Food is energy. So if you have been having problems with processed foods, you know, things like that. Because let's be honest, when people handle our foods with negative energy inside, it transfers. Spirit is saying sometimes it's not even the people poisoning you around you or yourself, It's the people who process our foods with the chemicals that are in it. So Spirit is saying it's time to stop eating so much shit food. And they're saying, look at the circle of life. If you don't, like the, grid of life, everything that something else eats that we eat, it all takes energy. So for instance, you have, the herbivores, right? They're eaten by the scavengers, right? Scavengers are eaten by the predators are eaten by us. We all have that different level of energy. So if something is scared while it gets butchered or hunted, it's going to infect the meat. So therefore we bring that into our body, our very temple. It affects us, because now that implies that we have just implanted another animal's fear, and it has blocked our body system, our chakra meridians meridians. My fucking, I'm twitching. I'm like, Spirit's like, oh, you're kind of tweaking out right now. Like, back to the thing at hand. Okay. Spirit is saying, watch what you eat. Feel your body, feel the machine, feel your ascension, feel your rise. You don't eat it, you feel like shit. That's literally what Spirit is saying. So, watch what you eat. So yeah, that is my reading for you today, and peace, love, and happiness. I hope that you guys are well, and I'm going to close it out again with some sage, closing any energy that we have pulled, and I'm going to transmute it with the violet and obsidian flame, and I remove any psychic attack or attachment, implantation, and I ask that this mirror be pulled. So I'm just going to comb this obsidian and allow the violet flame to transmute. I need you to take a series of 6 deep breaths on your own, and I'm going to get to work. So it's really wise that you protect your energy, do cleanses. Oh yeah, that's a part of that, is detox your body from heavy minerals and meats, but also metals. So, like, your body is not supposed to have certain metals in it, like, shit. Anyways, okay, so there is a documentary somewhere that does with heavy metals. So this is talking about, like, lead, shit like that we ingest. Like, even certain minerals like zinc. Yeah, sometimes it's important to have it, but not at the rate of consumption that we have, where it's always over-processed or over-enriched. And, they're marketed as it's healthy. So, detox from heavy metals is what Spirit is also saying. Like, watch how much of your mineral intake that you use. Like, if you want, use sea moss, like registered sea moss that has like 98 of the minerals that are essential, that you don't even really need protein like that, because these minerals make up the base components of every cell in our body. Cells make up tissue. So it's like fueling the cells fuels the tissue, which then fuels you as the muscle and the meat. So I just want to comb out, pulling. Just keep breathing. You have nothing to worry about. You're protected. So with that being said, I will put that away. And I want to close you up. So using the cinnamon, I ask that Spirit heal the energy that I just pulled. That pocket that leaves us energy vulnerable. And with this being said, peace, love, and happiness. I love you guys. Protect you. Make sure you love you. You have some inner child work to do. You have some family and ancestral forgiveness. So look within yourself and speak kindly to yourself. So with this being said, thank you, Spirit. Peace, love, and happiness.